Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for joining me today. I'm Spiguyver. This is Spiguyver Backpacking, and I'm out here today to talk with you guys about a couple of things. But first, this episode is kind of a Spiguyver chat, but it's about my favorite podcasts. So a lot of times when I go out on the trail, I will download podcasts to listen to while I'm out there so that I have something to listen to as I'm falling asleep, just to get my mind off of things. My mind seems to wander and get spun up a little bit more than a lot of people out there. So I like to have something set up that I can kind of drift off to, get my mind off of other things. And so yeah, let's talk about some of my favorite podcasts. And they aren't always just listened to on the trail. Sometimes they're listened to while I'm driving out to a trip, or sometimes just the back and forth on the way to work I use them. So let's talk about what my favorite podcasts are. Alright guys, thanks for coming back. Today I wanted to talk about my 4 favorite podcasts. Yes, there are other podcasts out there that I listen to, but these 4 happen to be the ones that I go to quite a bit. So the first one is kind of one that I've started listening to a little bit more recently, and that is the Backpacker Radio by The Trek. Now, this is a podcast that's co-hosted by Zach Badger Davis and Juliana Chauncey. And they're both experienced, seasoned hikers, long-distance hikers, and that's mainly what this podcast is geared towards. It's geared towards those that are out doing the long-distance trails, the through hikes, those events and things that are a little bit more out there, a little bit more extreme. So their podcast really does hit what the through hiker's looking for. So they do a lot of interviews, talk to a lot of different people, from land organizers and people that maintain the Colorado Trail or other main trails, to the calendar triple crowners or someone that's going out and doing their through hike now. As I said, they're both seasoned hikers, seasoned through hikers. So Zach did the AT in 2011. He did the AT in 2011 and the PCT in 2017. And Juliana did the PCT in 2017, and she's getting ready. By the time this comes out, she's probably about a week from hitting the AT for her AT through hike. So that one's one that I like to listen to. It's got about a year's worth of episodes out there right now. So they started in early January 2018, and they do it about twice a month. So they've got quite a few episodes out there. Go ahead and check them out and see if that's something that you're interested in, if you'd like to get into that one. All right, the next 3 are all kind of a little bit of a bias because I've been on all 3 of them. So the first one's going to be the Backpacking and Blister Show. So Derek and Carl run that one, and both of them have a pretty good amount of experience. Carl a little bit more than Derek. Derek gets out for about 1 trip a year, whereas Carl gets out a little bit more often. And so Carl's kind of the guru, and Derek's kind of the inquisitive one. I'll say that. It's a great show, a great banter back and forth between the two of them, and that's what kept me coming back over and over. And they did invite me on for an episode, so that was kind of cool as well. Great show. They do, I don't think it's quite weekly, but it's almost every week while they're doing it. But they do seasons. So when they're in the off season, they're not doing it as much. They may do one every month or two. But I believe they've got like 57 episodes, so quite a few episodes out there right now that you can go check out. So make sure you check them out. Number 3 is the first one that I really got involved with, which was the Hang Your Own Hang podcast, and that is Jonathan and Mark. They're a couple of guys out of New York, upstate New York, that they're involved in scouts. They've got kids, and they're very involved in the hammock community. And because they're involved in the hammock community, and I'm pretty big in the hammock community, we've kind of grown pretty tight, talked quite a bit. And so even recently, I've been on theirs 3 times now, including one episode that I was the co-host of. And now they've actually brought me back where I have, along with Gresh, we have our own segment that we do every month. So it's a monthly podcast. It's been going for a little over 3 years now. So great content there. A lot of good things, mixing it up with new people in the community, vendors, those people out there, the innovators, and just the personalities in the environment. And the last one is the newest one. It's Inside the Outside, and that one is Gary and Christy Kirk. They're out of North Carolina. They do a weekly podcast, which, for those of you who don't know how hard it is to put together something weekly, I try and get this out weekly. It is a lot of work to keep up a schedule like that. They've only been doing it since November. They've got 10 episodes out there, and I was lucky enough to be one of their guests on the show. So those are the 4 that I really like to watch or listen to quite a bit. Now, there was another one that I had listened to off and on, a little bit more of a family geared one, and it was called The First 40 Miles. However, they recently disbanded and have stopped doing their podcast, but they've got a lot of content you could go back and take a listen to if you wanted to. It's still out there for you to find, just they're not doing it regularly anymore. So guys, those are my favorite podcasts. Those are the ones that I listen to pretty frequently, pretty regularly, and that's that. If you guys have any questions, any comments, go ahead and leave them down below. If you like this channel, if you like what I'm doing here, or if you have any other questions, let me know. Hit subscribe. Right next to that, there's a little bell icon. Make sure you click that so that you get notifications every time I upload a video. I will see you guys down the trail.